Great weekend for the Angels. A 3-game sweep over the Chicago White Sox, allowing one total run, and they're hoping to keep that going tonight. Division-leading Texas Rangers are in town for the first of 3 tonight. We welcome you inside the Big A and back to Angels baseball here on Fox Sports West, along with Mark Kubica. I'm Victor Rojas. Now, the Texas Rangers certainly have played good baseball throughout the season. As a matter of fact, they're coming off a month of June in which they won 20 ball games. But Gooby, in the month of July, a little different story. Even though they won yesterday, salvaged the final game of the series against the Cubs, they've struggled a little bit this month.
Yeah, Victor, some injuries finally got them, especially to their pitching staff. They're not swinging the bats as well as they were earlier in the season themselves. And during this 15-game stretch, they're just 4-11. The record batting average is under 250, but there's 4.1 runs per game, and the team ERA over 6.5. Their starters have been struggling. I mentioned those guys out of their rotation. You know, they got Hamels, who's been throwing the ball well. Darvish is back, but the rest of this rotation hasn't pitched as well as we saw earlier. Bullpen is really getting worked a lot, too. That's why they haven't been as consistent to this point, but still very dangerous.
Now, the one thing that certainly stood out for the Angels over the weekend was the starting pitching, and tonight Nick Tropeano's on the mound trying to keep that mojo going.
Oh, you got to, especially the way they've pitched those 3 games against the White Sox. And take a look at our tools of the trade, brought to you by Ram Trucks. Nick Tropeano threw the ball very, very well earlier this season against the Texas Rangers back in May down in their ballpark. He threw the ball well. He got ahead of the count very well. His curveball, he changed speeds with that very well. You need to be able to do that against these hitters for the Rangers. 135 batting average with runners in scoring position this season for Nick Tropeano. Big reason, able to throw his breaking ball, his curveball, and changeup in those counts where they're geared up for the fastball. 6 2/3 shutout ball against the Rangers down there in May.
Right-hander A.J. Griffin will oppose Nick Tropeano as we're just about ready for baseball. Game 1 of a 3-game set against the Rangers. Sit back and relax. Lineups at first pitch when we return.
This telecast of Angels baseball on Fox Sports West is brought to you by Hyundai. Great deals on amazing cars are going on now at your Hyundai dealer. Visit buyhyundai.com today. By Jack in the Box, the Portobello Mushroom Buttery Jack is back. Taste it before it's gone. By your Southern California Toyota dealers. By Mercury Insurance, on a mission to save you money. Log on to mercuryinsurance.com to get a fast free quote and see how much you can save. And by the Jeep Renegade. Find your inner renegade and reach your highest potential with an EPA estimated 31 highway miles per gallon. Game one of a three-game set against the division-leading Texas Rangers. Nick Tropeano and the Halos wearing their pearly white home uniforms. No alternate jerseys, and they weren't necessarily needed over the weekend with 2 shutouts and, of course, the big victory yesterday. A 8-1 win over the Sox to complete that sweep as we take a look at Jeff Bannister's starting lineup for the Texas Rangers, who currently stand at 55-38 on the season. And it's Jurickson Profar leading things off, a supremely talented young man who's been decimated by injuries, shoulder injuries over the last couple of seasons. He's the shortstop tonight. Ian Desmond in center field. Rougned Odor at second. Adrian Beltre at third base. Prince Fielder, the DH. Ryan Rua gets the start in left field. Mitch Moreland in first. Nomar Mazara in right field. And our old friend Bobby Wilson getting the start behind the plate. He will bat ninth. Taking on Nick Tropeano. He's making his 13th start of the season, 3-2 mark and a 3.12 ERA.
Yeah, we talked about how well he has thrown his career versus the Rangers and what he has done of late for the Angels. My go-tos for Trope to be successful here tonight against the Rangers is that arm side fastball. That means get that fastball in against right-handed batters and then away against lefties and change piece for outs. He has a very good changeup, especially with runners in scoring position. If they get on, very, very good pitch down and away against the hitters.
Let's check out the Angels defensively tonight. Daniel Nava is in left field. Mike Trout in center. Cole Calhoun in right. The infield, Yunel Escobar and Andrelton Simmons on the left side. Johnny Giavatello, G-Man Choi on the right. Jeff Bandy behind the plate.
And Jeff Bandy going to be getting a lot of starts now with Giovanni Soto going to be on the disabled list for a little bit. He's been very good of late. Last 5 starts, 4-1 with the catchers with the ERA at 2.25. He's also thrown out 39% of would-be base steals. A big part of the Ranger offense in their way to score runs is try to steal bases. He's been very good, shut down the running game.
You mentioned Giovanni Soto being placed on the 15-day disabled list. They think that that's all it'll be, is a 15-day stint. The Angels did not recall Carlos Perez, although they could have with the 10-day waiting period on minor league guys being sent down to the minor leagues. You can recall someone within those 10 days if there is an injury and someone going on the DL, but the Angels instead going with Juan Graterol, an 11-year minor leaguer, being called up from AAA Salt Lake, and this would be, whenever he gets into a game, his major league debut.
Yeah, I saw his arm a lot in spring training, very good throwing arm, but like Socha said, he wants Carlos Perez is to get his swing together, play every day down there in AAA before coming back to the major league level.
First one tonight is down and in on Profar. Beautiful night for baseball, 77 degrees at first pitch, not a cloud in the sky. Profar hitting .326, 4 home runs, 14 runs batted in. The native of Curacao fouls this one back. Evens the count at a ball and a strike. 2 doubles, 2 triples to go with the 4 home runs for Profar. We mentioned a supremely talented guy, #1 overall prospect prior to the 2013 season, and pretty much across every publication. But, injured himself in the spring training game in March of 2014. Ended up having a labrum surgery. He's worked his way back and still just at 23 years of age getting a chance to play in the big leagues. Tonight getting to start at short. It bounced him around a little bit from first, second, short, third, DH spot as well.
Opens up with that open stance and then closes it as the pitch is going to be thrown to him.
2-1 pitch is just outside. A 3-1 count. Now, the one thing that we did see over the weekend, especially from the starting pitching, Hector Santiago, Matt Shoemaker, and yesterday Jared Weaver, guys getting ahead early in counts, putting guys away. That's a strike, full count.
And that 0-2 count was the theme throughout a 3-game set against the White Sox. Profar wants to know where this pitch was. It was a pretty good pitch right on the outside corner at the knees, framed very well by Jeff Bandy.
There comes the 3-2, and this is out to right field line. Sounds like Profar may have broken his bat as it goes foul. New lumber on the way. And we'll reset and do it again. Tropeano making his 4th career start against Texas. 1-2, a 3.72 ERA. Payoff again. This is fouled back. Profar, just like we see with Rougned Odor, very aggressive. Seldom get cheated on their swings. Texas comes into town 6th in the American League in batting average, 5th in runs, 9th in on-base percentage, 7th in slugging.
Still so odd to see Elvis Andrus not playing shortstop, with Profar playing shortstop tonight, and his career numbers against the Angels well over 300.
There's a walk to start things off.
Very similar to the pitch earlier in the sequence. It was called a strike. That was pretty close. Could have been easily been called a strike. Lower part of the strike zone again. See, touching in the corner of Fox Tracks. That's in the strike zone, touching that lower part. Boy, from the starting pitchers in those 3 games against the White Sox, a total of 1 walk.
3 walks all total over the weekend. First batter tonight be the base on balls. Here's Ian Desmond, the center fielder. He tries to bunt, pops it up. Bandy makes the catch, 1 away.
Well, you'll take that any day of the week. And Desmond has been hitting the ball so well for the Rangers this season. 40 extra base hits. Tried to bunt that one for a base hit, popped it up. Big out for Tropiano and the Angels.
That is a gift considering the season that Desmond is having. They're signing a 1-year deal with Texas. Being converted to left field and now pretty much the everyday center fielder. Has been the everyday center fielder for a while. He certainly has reestablished his market value. So man at first, 1 out, and Rougned Odor at the plate. .269 average for Odor. 16 home runs, 46 RBIs. Batting in the 3 spot tonight.
Think about Odor too. He is very aggressive early in counts. Likes to hit the high fastball, high pitches. Had a tough time so far this year as far as low pitches, lower part of the strike zone. It's a 165 batting average against low pitches this season, which is 7th worst in baseball. But if you make a mistake up at all, he's going to hit that baseball hard.
Good breaking ball. Gets Odor out in front. Evens a count at a ball and a strike.
See what he did against the Rangers back in May 23rd. We talked about that in the opening. 6 strikeouts, just 1 walk, and 108 pitches thrown. 6 2/3 shutout baseball for Trope.
I'll check in on Profar. Ran a little bit early on in his career. Hasn't run a whole lot this year. 6 stolen bases. Pardon me, 4 stolen bases in 7 attempts at AAA Round Rock. 0 for 1 in the big leagues.
Tropiano's allowed 3 stolen bases in 5 attempts. 4 pickoffs this year for Tropiano. Never had a pickoff at the major league level prior to this season before this year.
Two balls, 1 strike. Seems in the early going here with 3 batters facing Tropiano, trying to be very picky with the corners.
A couple of pretty close pitches that were not called strikes so far. Like Marty Foster behind the plate. Again, you make adjustments as a hitter and certainly as a pitcher to an umpire's zone.
2 balls, 2 strikes. Tropiano's last start was at Baltimore on the 9th. No decision for him. 6 innings, 5 hits, 1 run, 8 strikeouts, 1 walk. 97 pitches against a very aggressive Orioles ball club. That is foul at the plate. The count remains even at 2 balls, 2 strikes. Halos with the win, the series win, the sweep over the weekend. improved their record to 19-26 here at home. It's been a struggle this year all season long, whether it's been at home in a row, but coming into the ceremonial second half of the season, the Angels 10 games under 500 at the Big A. Took a little chunk of that with the weekend sweep of the White Sox. Chicago's up in Seattle for a series beginning tonight. Down and in, full count.
So Weaver there in the dugout, and he threw the ball very well. Fastball got up there 86, 87 miles an hour yesterday. Again, it's never really a big issue for Weaver when it comes to velocity on the fastball. When you have that 86, especially from his arm angle he throws at, it's on you almost as if it's a 90-mile-an-hour fastball. Shoemaker, congratulations on the AL Player of the Week honors. His first career major league shutout, 13 punchouts, no walks.
Profar more than likely on the move. Was a little stutter step there before getting back to the bag. Full count with one out. Beltre's on deck. 15 pitches thrown so far by Nick Tropeano, 8 strikes and 7 balls. Good lead for Profar at first. He goes. The 3-2 is lifted out toward deep right field, and it's going to be 2-0 Texas. A fastball that gets turned around by Odor, his 17th of the season, and the Rangers strike first.
Pitch upstairs, like you said, he doesn't miss many pitches that are middle up or up in the strike zone. Great power for Odor, 17th home run, 48 RBI for Odor on the season now. His fastball, belt high. You see that power, how he stayed back on that so well. Not a lot of movement in his head. Stayed back, barrel the bat, and that power he possesses, that leverage he creates, back leg swing out of the ballpark for Odor.
Now the team leader in home runs with 17. Now Beltre bats and takes a strike. 113th home run hit by Texas this year. They came into play 8th in the American League in that category. But here in the early going, a lot of nibbling for Tropeano. Has not been able to throw the breaking ball. Here's another one for a strike yet, so he's got to rely on the fastball.
Yeah, you can see we talked about it a little bit even on the pregame show. When his front shoulder opens up quickly, it's very difficult for him to throw his break ball and or his changeup in the strike zone, or at least close enough to get the hitters to chase it.
Two and one. Beltre hitting .274, 12 home runs and 55 runs batted in.
Odor with that home run, number 17. That now career high for Odor as far as home runs.
And that is drilled out to deep left center field. Nava will watch this one go, and it's 3-0 Texas. On another fastball. 13th of the year for Beltre's 56th run batted in. Rangers going back to back.
Inner half late fastball. 13th career home run. He's got that foot down. He's opening up the hips. Well, no doubter there. Left center field for Beltre, who continues to put up those power numbers career-wise against the Angels. That's his 37th career home run against the Angels.
There's Fielder. Looks a fastball on the outside corner for a strike. Prince, the DH, hitting .214. 16 doubles, 8 home runs, and 44 RBIs. Chopper toward the second baseman, Johnny Givitel, on a shallow right. 2 down.
And home run by Adrian Beltre, his 426th career home run, tied him down fourth amongst active hitters, and Miguel Cabrera on that list with 426.
Two outs, the base is clear, and it's Ryan Rua, the left fielder, coming up. '63rd game for Rua. .269 average. And a slow breaking ball drops in for a strike. No balls, 2 strikes. Got Rua to chase at a breaking ball, nowhere near the strike zone.
Might as well try that one again. He's got good power the other way if you try and elevate a fastball away.
Down it goes. That'll do it for the Rangers. But back-to-back home runs. A 2-run shot by Odor. Beltre followed up with a solo shot, giving the Rangers a 3-0 lead as we head to the bottom of the first. Odor and Beltre, so the Angels play from behind. We'll check out Mike Scioscia's lineup for game number 93. Yunel Escobar will lead things off at third base. Cole Calhoun in right, Mike Trout at center. Albert DHing, coming off a multi-homer game, his second of the season. Daniel Nava in left, Johnny Giavotella at second, Ji-Man Choi at first, Jeff Bandy behind the plate. And it's Andrelton Simmons batting ninth and playing shortstop as they take on the 28-year-old right-hander native of El Cajon, California. His name is A.J. Griffin. A.J.
Griffin, pretty good fastball himself, 87-91 range. He sinks it all right. Slider, curveball, changeup. But my go-tos to be successful against Griffin is sit off speed. There's a lot of those pitches, and don't be pull happy, especially with that slow curveball. If you try to pull that, you play into his hand, use the middle of the field, and go the other way.
Escobar's bet back a little bit on a high fastball. It's 1 ball, no strikes on the Angel third baseman. He's hitting .322 with 3 home runs and 28 runs batted in. That's out towards center field. Desmond back a couple of steps. Will put it away for the first down. Let's check out the Rangers defensively tonight. It's Rua, Desmond, Mazara from left to right. Beltre, Profar, Odor, and Moreland around the infield from third to first, and Wilson behind the plate.
And Odor at second base so far this year has committed 13 errors, 30 at second base last season, which is most in baseball. Has improved on that. He's turned 77 double plays so far this year. He does have a very good throwing arm.
And 54 errors committed by the Texas Rangers this year. Profar, who is playing in his 40th game, has committed 5, but he's bounced around at different spots in the infield. Beltre with 5 at the hot corners. Cole takes a strike. Calhoun hitting .283. 16 doubles, 3 triples, 10 home runs, 48 runs batted in. 0 for 3 in yesterday's contest. Did draw a walk and scored a run.
Cole, a .345 career hitter against the Rangers.
Two balls, one strike. Second start of the season for Griffin against the Angels. He pitched here and beat the Angels on April the 8th. Gave up 3 runs on 6 hits, 6 innings of work. It was his first win of the big league since September 12th of 2013 against the Minnesota Twins. Tommy John surgery, 2014.
Had to deal with a little shoulder problem earlier this year also.
This was popped up left side. Beltre coming in. Puts it away on the dirt for round number 2.
My Hyundai key for this game for the Angels to be successful in this one. A little pink, just like fire. The offense is going to have to stay hot at this point, especially when you're facing a Ranger lineup, and they've already been swinging the bats well in the first inning. So it's going to be up to the offense to bring it right back in this game tonight.
Trout. 2 runs. Nobody on for Trout.
Yeah, Trout with 18 career home runs versus the Rangers.
Takes a fastball for a strike. Trout picked up his first hit since the break. A double last night, or yesterday afternoon, the 4th inning. Got on board twice, scored twice. On the inside corner.
One thing you'll notice with Griffin, he's not overpowering with his fastball, but he pitches inside very well. Right-handed batters, he's hitting .200 against him this season.
2 balls, 2 strikes. .316 average for Trout. 18 home runs, 59 RBIs. Leads the team in home runs. Behind Pujols in the runs batted in category. That one just missed. Full count. Griffin doesn't waste a whole lot of time. Texas plays the shift on Trout. 3 infielders on the left. Here comes the payoff. And that is skied to left. Not very deep. Rua has to come in. And the left fielder will put it away. 3 fly ball outs for A.J. Griffin. A shutdown inning. We head to the second with Texas on top. Top of the second inning. Fans, this broadcast of Angels baseball is being broadcast on AFN, the American Forces Network, broadcasting to U.S. Armed Forces serving around the world on land and on ships at sea. As always, we welcome you to our broadcast and we thank you for your continued service. Bottom third of the order for Texas here in the second. Moreland, Mazara, and Wilson. Tropeano threw 25 pitches in the first, 16 for strikes. Off speed on the first one to Mitch Moreland. It's upstairs for ball one. Moreland hitting .230, 11 home runs, and 34 runs batted in. .296 on base percentage. And always seems to want to turn and burn on the middle half in of the plate.
Not as much of a shift on him as we saw earlier in the season, though.
Taps it foul. It's 2 balls and a strike. With Profar up and bouncing around different positions. Moreland has only now started 3 of the team's last 12 games.
Watching those games in Chicago too. Prince Fielder was playing some first base with no DH in Chicago against the Cubbies.
Moreland drives one out to right field. That's going to be the 3rd home run hit by Texas tonight. 4-0. He just went down and got it.
That happy zone for a left-handed batter, able to get a pitch down like that. An all-speed pitch. For a team, we showed it in the beginning in the graphic on our opening, they've been struggling scoring runs, averaging 4.1 runs per game in the last 15, already 4 in this one with 3 home runs. See that changeup? A little bit too much to the plate, was down middle, and Moreland didn't miss it.
Mazara fouls it back. 14 home runs allowed by Tropeano now. Mazara gets hit by a pitch. No, yep, he sure did.
Yeah, you can hear that sound, yes, all the way up here.
Rough start for Nick Tropeano. Still trying to figure it out here. Nobody out, a man on now.
Right on the top of the foot, almost on the ankle. It's a fastball. He's trying to walk that one off. That 91-mile-an-hour fastball on that foot like it did. Still trying to get comfortable at first base. Smiles in that dugout already for the Rangers, and the Angels since 2014 30-18 against the Rangers.
There's Bobby Wilson. Bobby takes down and away. It's the second time this year the Tropeano's allowed 3 home runs in a game. Did so against Milwaukee back on May the 3rd. Ended up going 5 innings that night. He's behind again at 2 balls, no strikes. I mean, right now, Gooby, he's a 1-pitch pitcher. And they're not missing that 1 pitch.
Yeah,
they got to change up on Moreland.
Yeah, when you're forced into a fastball and it's not overpowering you, got to rely on movement and location. He's missed location a couple of times, and Texas, even though, like we said, they've been struggling offensively, they are a dangerous club when they get locked in. Well, they seem locked in already in this game.
Bobby lines one to short. Simmons has it. 1 away. Mazara gets back to first. And that was allowed out. Back to the top of the order now. Jurickson Profar worked a walk to start the game. 4-0 Texas here in the second. 3 home runs hit. Odor, Beltre, and Moreland. Short lead for Mazar at first. One ball, one strike. Texas with a 29-15 record at home, out on the road 26-23. It's their first division games since June 16th against Oakland. The only meeting between these two teams between June and when they come back in September 9th through the 11th here at the Big A, and then the Angels go the following week to the Lone Star State. Jeff Bannister, second year at the helm, the reigning American League Manager of the Year. Rangers have played well within the division at 26-13 as Profar. Taps have found. The count remains at 1-2. Halos at 15-20 within the division.
It's something the Rangers were doing a lot of when they were successful, was winning within the division. Significant number of wins versus AL West opponents.
Halos have 6 straight within the division, 3 here against Texas, and they head out on the road. A weekend series in Houston against the Astros, and then it's up to Kansas City for 3 beginning a week from tonight. This one sliced Fallon out of play.
Nick Tropiano take a little bit more time in between pitches than we've seen of late from him.
He's very deliberate in that first inning. And Profar pulls one down the line out in front of the off speed. That'll hook foul. A couple of prolonged PAs too by Profar. Making contact, keeping his plate appearances alive. Drew a walk in the first and scored on the Odor home run. Saw 8 pitches in the first.
Got that open stance, hands are low, and brings him up as Tropiano's going to deliver the pitch. Showing some pretty good patience, not chasing, not helping out Tropiano at all, Profar.
He's had 89 at-bats coming into play today from the left side of the plate in the big leagues. He's hitting .371. All 4 of his home runs from this side of the plate. 9 for 40 from the right side. Full count. Third full count for Tropiano. He and Desmond's on deck. Mitch Moreland opening up the second inning with a solo home run to right. Mazara takes off. Profar takes a called strike 3. The throw down to second is in time. A strike him out, throw him out, double play, and the inning comes to an end. Moreland with the leadoff home run gives Texas a 4-0 lead as we head to the bottom of the inning. Here in Southern California. Let's go back and take a look at how the top of the inning ended on a strike him out, throw him out.
Not an easy pitch to throw out. A base runner also. It's a breaking ball. How quick that transfer and throw by Jett Bandy. We talked about him throwing out 39% of would-be base stealers. A perfect throw and tag by Simmons there at second base, but Jett Bandy continues to throw the ball very well. He's thrown out 12 of 19 would-be base stealers.
Pujols, Nava, Giavotella for the Angels here in the bottom of the second. A.J. Griffin with 3 fly ball outs in the first. Delivers a strike on Albert. Pujols, a couple of home runs yesterday, now with 577 in his career. On the season, 17. Off-speed pitch for a strike, and it's 0-2. Albert now with 1,187 extra base hits. It's 10th all time. So breaking ball, and it's a broken bat roller to second. It's to the second baseman. One away. That was that slow curveball that Griffin likes to throw on occasion.
Yeah, when he throws that slow curveball, if you're out in front, you're going to get off the end of the bat. A lot of times it'll be a pop-up. You have to try to stay back and shoot that ball hard the other way. Very difficult to do so. You see that a lot with Weaver. A lot of pop-ups in the infield on that slow curveball.
13th round selection by the Oakland A's out of the University of San Diego in 2010. I mentioned he spent some time on the disabled list this year between May 8th and June 24th with shoulder stiffness. First one to Nava, a little bit high. Daniel at 247 has 4 doubles, a home run, and 10 RBIs. Did not get into the game yesterday. Todd Cunningham got the start at left. Angels starting some action in their bullpen. Jhoulys Chacin begins to warm up. Two balls, 2 strikes, and it just may be one of those nights where Mike Scioscia, Charles Nagy feel it can't fall behind any further. Nick just doesn't have it. I mean, those games tend to happen on occasion. Nava takes a called strike 3, 2 down. Let's take a look at the Honda upcoming schedule. Johnny Giavotella comes to the plate. I mentioned the 3 here against Texas, 3 in Houston, 3 in Kansas City for that 6-game road trip. Halos return home on the 28th for a 4-game series against Boston. An off day on the 1st. And then the August swing begins. 3 in Oakland and that next road trip.
Yeah, I wonder if there's something not wrong with Nick Tropeano, especially with Adam Nevlin by him. A couple of different times I was looking in the dugout. And then Mike Scioscia had some conversation with the umpires in between inning.
I'm not sure what that conversation had anything to do with getting someone up at the bullpen. He almost called all the umpires up. Mike Winters came down. Whatever it was, they sorted it out.
Well, they always what it comes down to is given more time depending on the inning. If Nick is something wrong with him at this particular point, you get as much time as possible out of the bullpen to come in the game. So that might have been a quick heads up to him.
I wonder what the rule states on that. If it's if that is an injury thing and you're going and your half inning has just concluded and you go into the dugout, if there's ample enough time with the commercial break and in the inning. It's a good one to ask one of the umpires. Giavotella trying to shoot one up the middle. What a play by Jurickson Profar. Mention how talented that young man is. Robs Giavotella of a base hit. The Angels down in order. We'll head to the 3rd. Texas leading at 4-0.
in the top of the third, and Profar made an excellent play to finish off the bottom of the second. Is worthy of a Carl's Cam replay. Look at that range he has into that outfield grass, and quickly on the transfer, a firm throw to get Johnny Giavotella at first base. Profar, a special youngster, playing that shortstop position. So you've seen Elvis Andrus playing there, but Profar, an excellent play, and Odor out of the way too on that throw. Had to bend down to make sure wasn't hit with the throw.
Yeah, remember that prior to the injury, Profar was going to be given the opportunity to win the everyday second base job before he got injured. So that would have been the tandem of Andrus and Profar, and that's when Odor stepped in and ended up taking that job while Profar was injured for a couple of seasons. Anyway, Jhoulys Chacin is into the ball game, and we assume that there is something going on with Nick Tropeano, just because Adam Neville, the head trainer, had talked to him and walked him down these steps. Once we get word, if there is word, we'll certainly pass it along. It's our in and out, who's in, who's out. Chacin coming into the ball game, pitching in relief, and has been in the bullpen of late. 2-5 with a 5.98 ERA for the Angels. This is fourth game out of the pen. Total of 55 at 2/3 innings, 66 hits, 33 strikeouts, and 25 walks. 2, 3, and 4 for Texas. Desmond, Odor, and Beltre. Desmond tried to bunt his way on in the first inning. He popped out the bandy, so he's 0 for 1.
Desmond's very good as far as going the other way. He has 37 opposite field hits. So if you're going to throw him that slider, locate just like that one towards the dirt.
1-2. Chacin has been limited as far as his innings as a reliever. Just 2 2/3 innings in the 3 previous games. 2 hits, 1 run, 2 strikeouts, no walks. I would imagine that he's here to give the Angels a couple of innings at the very least.
I think when you look at MVPs of this Ranger club, you would have to point towards Desmond as their MVP.
Absolutely. Not knowing what you were going to get, especially learning a new position out in the outfield. Waited a long time to sign as a free agent before the Rangers offered him a 1-year deal.
He has 6 outfield assists playing the either center field, or he started out initially as the left fielder. Turned into a very solid center fielder.
Two. Fastball got him looking. Desmond knew it. 1 away.
Great location, that 92-mile-an-hour fastball. That fastball was set up by a very good slider earlier in the sequence. Backed it up with that 2-seamer, bring it back and get in that outside corner.
Odor takes downstairs, had a 2-run blast the first inning, so he's 1 for 1.
Texas is one of those clubs that may be active at the trade deadline here coming up on August 1st, especially when you have Odor, you have Profar, and you have Andrus, all 3 playing that middle infield positions.
2 balls, no strikes. Tropeano's final line, 2 innings, 4 runs.
And down in their minor league system, a number of prized prospects. We were able to pull off that deal last year to get Cole Hamels.
2-1 count.
Hamels has been very, very good since he put on that Ranger uniform, winning a ton of games for him, including pitching very well against the Chicago Cubs yesterday.
That's lined to center field. Second hit of the game for Odor on a high fastball. This just in, don't throw him high fastballs. Hey, every game matters. If you've got a group of 20 or more interested in experiencing Angels baseball, receive group tickets. Do group ticket pricing, pardon me, for as low as $6 per seat. Just go to angels.com/groups for more info. So a 2-for-2 night already for Odor. We're in the third. Here comes Beltre. Homered out to left center field in the first inning, his 13th of the year. Odor will run, 7 stolen bases, has been caught 3 times. Team leaders Ian Desmond with 15. He's got a big lead over at first base. 1-0 count.
Certainly plenty of time for the Angels to come back in this game against a Rangers staff that has been really struggling of late as far as an ERA, team ERA, well into sixes. Very important for Chachin to be able to get some length out of the bullpen here and put up some zeros.
Late on the fastball, and it's fouled off. 1 ball, 1 strike. Jhoulys Chacin coming over to trade with the Atlanta Braves. 10 starts for the Angels before they move to the bullpen. Trying to pick up the pieces here in the 3rd inning. Tropeano, 2 innings, 4 runs, 3 hits, all 3 home runs. Odor's on the move. The breaking ball is in there for a strike. To throw to second from his knees is in time, at least according to Mike Muchlinski. Right now it's out number 2.
That's a pretty quick transfer and throw. Rangers probably take a look at this though. A lot on that throw from the knees. I wonder if he got his hand in there, that left hand, or did it go into the foot of Giavotella when he got the tag down?
No argument from the Rangers. Jeff Bandy channeling his inner Benito Santiago.
Yeah. Oh,
down low. 2 balls, 2 strikes. He should just change his number to 09.
Again, the slide in there, I think, got the foot, and then Giavotella was able to apply the tag at that point just before he got his fingers on the base.
Beltre flips it out toward right field. Long run for Cole toward the foul line, and will make the catch in foul territory, and the inning comes to an end. We'll head to the bottom of the 3rd. Halos trailing at 4-0.
Kia. Angels of late, last 9 games, 7-2 record. Outscore their opponents 54-21. Very good batting average with runner to scoring position. The starting pitching had been great, 6-1 with a 2.20. Now it's up to the offense to get back in the game against a staff that has struggled of late, and that's the Texas Rangers.
Bottom 3rd of the order coming up for the Halos here in the bottom of the 3rd, of course, with AJ Griffin on the mound. Choi, Bandy, and Simmons. Griffin's face 6. He's retired all 6 with a strikeout. That was of Nava looking. G-Man 5 for 32 with a couple of doubles. 1 RBI. Picked up his first big league RBI on a sac fly in the 5th inning yesterday, and also picked up his first stolen base of his brief big league career. The starting nod once again at first base with the injured C.J. Cron. 2 balls, 1 strike.
Early on, a lot of fastballs from Griffin. He's been spotting the fastball very well. Percentage-wise this season, is 53% of his pitches are fastballs. The rest off speed. Again, not overpowering. He works quickly. He pitches inside very, very well.
Jabbed him. This one flared down the line. Long run for Beltre, and not going to get there.
He's moving pretty good going for that pop-up.
Yes, he was. He lulls you to sleep at times. He makes you think that maybe he's sore or feeling a little under the weather.
Yeah.
That'll sneak up, especially when he's at the plate.
Yes. Tell you what, he comes in on a baseball as well as anybody has ever done in the major leagues at that third base position.
Hall of Famer to be.
No question.
2-2. Tried to run that 2-seamer on the front door, misses, and it's a full count. Jett Bandy on deck, and Andrelton Simmons. Chopper towards second. 1 down. 3 ground ball outs, 1 strikeout, 3 fly ball outs for A.J. Griffin.
Number 47.
Bandy comes up. Jett hitting .264. 4 doubles, 2 home runs, 12 RBIs. With Soto going on the disabled list, figure that he'll get the bulk of the playing time behind the plate. Juan Graterol, 11 years in the minor leagues, getting called up by the Angels and being added to the 40-man roster. The Angels moving Cliff Pennington, who's been on the 15-day disabled list, over to the 60-day DL. He's going to start a rehab assignment here soon. They have to wait another couple of weeks before he gets activated. Bandy rips that one off the railing in front of the Angels dugout. 1 ball, 1 strike, just slightly out in front of the off speed. There's C.J. Cron. There's Pennington hanging out on the bench. Fortunately, that didn't hit him. Bandy pops it up. Griffin running that one in on the hands. Moreland will watch it land in the seats. Still a 1-2 count. Down the line, backhanded by Beltre. 2 down. Griffin's got it working just as he did in that start on April the 8th here. Picked up the win. And it's Simmons coming up.
Yeah, he's 3-2 in his career with a 3.08 ERA, Griffin, against the Angels. Again, typical what we saw over the years with Oakland A's pitchers. Works quickly, pitches inside, has good off-speed pitches.
Simmons skies one out toward right center field. Desmond moving over. And A.J. Griffin has faced 9 batters. He's retired all 9. We head to the 4th with Texas on top 4-0.
76. The bullpen yesterday in the game. Noah Scarra threw the ball well. No hits, 1 strikeout, 13 pitches thrown. Joe Smith went 1 inning, 1 hit, 2 punch-outs, 29 pitches thrown. The bullpen's going to be needed tonight. Hopefully an opportunity to be able to put up some zeros and pick up the W late.
Fielder takes ball 1. He'll be followed by Ryan Rua and then Mitch Moreland here in the 4th. Odor and Beltry back-to-back home runs in the first. Moreland with a leadoff home run in the second, scoring in this game. Prince grounded out his first time, so he's 0 for 1. And he'll ground out a second time. 1 away. And let's take on the Rangers again on Wednesday. That's the finale of this 3-game set. And fans in attendance will receive a Mike Trout pocket t-shirt courtesy of Old Dominion Household Services while supplies last. Go to angels.com/promotions for more info.
Well, Sheen really has that 2-seam fastball working well today. Let's mix in a slow curveball, where she got Prince Fielder to the ground out on.
One-two count on Rua. Tropiano knocked out after 2 innings. 4 runs, 3 hits. Chacin working his second inning of relief. Went around, 2 away. Second strikeout for Jalise.
It's that slider we saw from Jalise against the Tigers. We had that complete game here at the Big A. And when he was a starter, nasty, sharp break to a slider, get a swing and miss.
Two quick outs to start this 4th inning, and here's Mitch Moreland. Got an off-speed pitch down and homer to deep right center field his first time up. Moreland's 12th of the year, 35th RBI. This one's out toward left field, and that's going to get down for a base hit. 2-out knock for Moreland, so he's 2 for 2 on the evening. And we'll bring up Mazara.
Number 30, Nomar Mazara.
Angels will have Tim Lincecum going tomorrow night. Hector Santiago, the finale of this 3-game set on Wednesday. Mazara hit by a pitch in the second. What a major league debut he had against the Angels right here on April the 10th. 3 for 4, including a home run.
Made some really good plays out in the outfield also. Good throwing arm.
Just 21 years of age.
Open stance himself.
Chopper toward the middle. Giavotella A giveaway to Simmons, and they retire Mazara for the third out. So we'll head to the bottom of the fourth. Halo still looking for their first base runner. Top of the order coming up, down 4-0. Three home runs hit by the Texas Rangers. We welcome you inside our broadcast booth, and A.J. Griffin so far, Gooby, has looked fantastic. So we're not going to talk about that right now because we think that maybe Yunel Escobar, Cole Calhoun, Mike Trout might do something. But tomorrow night,
Yes.
we're going to be out there in deep right center field, or actually right field corner, the Shock Top Brew Pub, calling the game. Now, will you have binoculars?
Yeah, it'll be a little
to call
bit,
pitches
little
from?
different view right there. And it's going to be a lot of fun to be able to call the game from there. Especially early on in the game, that sun will be right in that area.
Get all lathered up.
Oh, yes.
First one to Escobar's up and in. Yunel hit a fly ball to center field in the first.
It's always been fun when we go in a different location here at the stadium. We had the absolute best view in our booth all the time here, but when we go a little different view in the stadium, it's kind of fun to interact with the fans and be able to see the game from that point of view.
Griffin falls behind here at 3-0.
And the need to get some base runners, very manageable to come back in this game right now.
Caught the inside corner. It's the fourth three-ball count that Griffin has had. Didn't seem that way. 42 pitches, 23 strikes, one punch out. And he will issue a walk to start the fourth. So the first base run of the game is on board.
Good anticipation, by the way, just assuming that Escobar was going to get on base and right on cue.
One can only hope. Cole Calhoun comes up. He popped out to Beltran his first at bat.
Always difficult when you haven't pitched from that stretch position yet in the game. And Cole very aggressive generally early in the count. His batting average when he makes contact on that very first pitch, it puts it in play. .435 with 3 home runs and 18 RBI when he's aggressive on that first pitch and puts it in play.
Griffin working from the stretch for the first time. AJ making his 11th start of the season. Came in with a 3-1 mark. 3.81 ERA. 52 innings, 46 hits allowed. He's behind here 2-0, and now Bobby's going to go out and talk things over with him.
A quick conversation. Let him know the free pass. You don't want to do that, especially when you know who's on deck and who's going to be following Mike Trout after that. Now Albert Pujols. All of a sudden, a couple big swings and it's a tie game.
Griffin's one of those guys that likes to keep the tempo going. Doesn't waste a whole lot of time, but you do that from the full windup with nobody on base. It's one type of tempo, but then you get into that stretch position. Got to come set and slow things down, and it's a little bit of an adjustment period at times.
Arm angle's a little bit different. At least it feels that way.
Right.
Until you get accustomed to that stretch position.
Cole pulls it foul. Pitch out was in off the plate. It's 2 balls and a strike.
You can see a little bit of a dip in velocity on the fastball. He had been about 88, 89. That fastball there, 86-mile-an-hour fastball.
Three and one. Griffin now 28 years of age. 15 starts in the big leagues with Oakland in 2012. 32 starts 2013. 14-game winner that year. Grossmont High School and University of San Diego. Back-to-back walks to start the 4th, and Trout will come to the plate with 2 men on.
And this will be real interesting right now for Trout as he comes to the plate looking for some offense. And going back to my Hyundai key to this game, looking for that big swing, just like fire, to try to get hot. Trout picked up his first hit of the second half yesterday. Line went off the wall in left center field. Now you have a pitcher struggling with command. And Trout not known to be very aggressive on the first pitch, although when he has swung at the first pitch and made contact, put in play, just like Cole Calhoun. Great number, 600 batting average with 2 home runs. Took that first pitch, first at bat. If he gets a fastball, if he's looking, first pitch fastball, this might be the time to jump on it if you're Trout.
Trout hit a fly ball to left field in the first inning. Got jammed. And the first one's in there for a strike on the outside corner. But what count?
He looked like he was going to unload on that fastball. It was a little bit off. He felt it was a little bit off the outside corner. Those great numbers career-wise in 93 games, 18 home runs, 65 RBI.
With men on base, the Rangers play a traditional infield, although Odor shading toward the middle. Profar in a couple of steps at short. The outfield straight around. That's pulled toward third off the glove of Beltre. It'll stay on the infield, and the bases will be loaded for Albert. That's a single for Trout, infield variety.
Well, that was a rocket by Trout. Now it's time for our AT&T high-speed replay. Yesterday, Albert Pujols provided a ton of offense. 2-run home run in the first. Then in the 4th, 2-run home run on a breaking ball. So 2-run home run on a fastball, 2-run home run on a breaking ball. Albert Pujols, 2 home runs, 4 RBI yesterday with a chance with one big swing here to tie it up.
He's 3 for 10 this year with the bases loaded. He grounded out as he broke his bat in the second inning on a slow curveball from Griffin. He's 0 for 1. Escobar at third, Calhoun at second. It's Trout at first base. 4-0 Texas here in the bottom of the 4th.
And you would think the way Griffin throws, he likes to throw the fastball inside. It might be a time where he might try to run one in on Albert. See those career numbers as far as home runs, 577 for Albert.
Breaking ball again. 1 ball, 1 strike. Multi-homer game yesterday, 53rd of his career. There's that real slow one. Jared Weaver variety, 67 miles per hour. That's the one that he got to Albert to break his bat on, off the end of the bat. His first at bat. Three and one.
That's a very good take. So far in the sequence, you've seen 3 sliders and a curveball. Does he go to the old school of Jim Palmer, I'm not going to give in to a home run hitter and just try to throw a breaking ball, or does he challenge Albert with a fastball?
3-1. want an appeal. He did not go, and the Angels get on the board. Third walk of the inning for A.J. Griffin. It's 4-1 Texas.
Well, he came with the fastball, tried to run that inside. Take a look at our pitch-by-pitch sequence by Griffin against Albert Pujols. Starts him off with a slider in the dirt, followed by another slider, gets Albert to swing at, and then a slow breaking ball. Followed up with another slider in the dirt, then tried to run a fastball in, and just a little bit off the inside corner. Walks and run an RBI for Albert, giving him now 65 on the season.
So it's Calhoun at third, Trout at second, and Pujols at first. And here's Daniel Nava. Struck out looking the second. Swinging first pitch, fouls it back.
Daniel Nava, .341 career hitter with the bases loaded, including 2 career grand slams.
Sean Tolleson, first man up for Texas. We get that bullpen cranking. 3 walks issued by Griffin here in this 4th inning.
Nava picked up his first major league hit. First pitch he saw with the bases loaded for a grand slam. He's a member of the Red Sox. Well, they've been tracking his breaking ball very well in this inning. The old second time through. 19 pitches thrown and 13 of them out of the strike zone this inning for Griffin.
One. This one's out to left. Brewer will move back and to his right. It will score a run. Calhoun's going to come in to score. Trout will stay at second, and Albert back to first. Sac fly for Nava makes it 4-2 Texas. Daniel picks up his 11th RBI.
That's a wise decision by Trout, not trying to go to third. Albert was tagging up along with Mike Trout to see if he go. The Brewer's got a pretty strong throwing on 4 outfield assists. He got behind that baseball well. You're already in scoring position. You don't want to be thrown out there, especially you're still trailing the game by 2.
Giavatella grounded out to end the second. 2 0 for 1. Ground ball slowly hit towards short. Profar to Odor to Moreland. Inning-ending double play. Johnny swinging first pitch on a guy that's walked 3 in the 4th. Halos get 2 and trailing 4-2. Insurance and financial services for you and your business. Visit hefins.com. And by El Pollo Loco. Try the new overstuffed quesadillas today. 4-2 Texas on top of the 5th inning. They will send up 9-1-2 against Jhoulys Chacin, working his 3rd inning of relief. Nick Tropeano gave up 4 runs on 3 home runs in 2 innings of work. Chacin with a couple of strikeouts, 2 singles allowed. Bobby Wilson lined out his 2nd inning at bat. 0 for 1. This one down the line foul. Bobby now 33. Angels 48th round pick. Back when it seemed like the draft went on forever. That was back in 2002. At St. Petersburg College, Florida.
5 for 9 against the Angels this year.
And loops this one out toward right center field, and that's going to get down for a leadoff single. This copyrighted telecast is presented by authority of the Los Angeles Angels. It may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of Angels Baseball LP. Back to the top of the order now. Profar at the plate. He walked and scored in the 1st, struck out looking in the 2nd. Escobar in on the grass just in case. This one way outside.
And Profar continues to be very patient at the plate and chasing pitches off the corners.
Caught the inside corner. 2 balls and a strike. Choi playing behind Bobby Wilson at first base with a left-handed batter up. On the corner, 2-2. Tried to go back inside. Full count of Desmond on deck. Wilson stays at home. Profar fouls it off his body. Down in the ankle area.
Yeah, big slow curveball out in front. With that open stance and tries to close it. Use that front foot open to be hit by a foul ball. Square on the foot.
Got him to chase, a bouncer back to the mound. Chacin goes to a second. Low throw gets away from Choi, but Profar stays near the bag. So they get the lead runner for the first out.
And made no attempt to go towards second when that baseball got by Choi at first.
Center fielder, number 20, Ian Desmond.
So roller. Shashin very quickly fires there to second. To be able to get Profar on a double play, but it still tried to be quick on the transfer and fire over there first with Simmons.
Ian Desmond 0 for 2. Popped out, trying to bunt in the first, struck out looking in the third. First batter that Chacin face. Desmond guessing first pitch fastball, gets a breaking ball instead. It's 0-1-1.
Shashin has thrown back-to-back sliders against Desmond. Very good on high pitches. Upper part of the strike zone. Desmond been very good and consistent this entire season. .417 batting average on high pitches, second best in baseball.
There's that fastball at 90. Freezes Desmond 1-2 now. Texas with 3 runs in the first. Odora, 2-run home run, followed by Beltre's solo shot, then Moreland in the second. A solo shot. The Angels getting 2 in the bottom of the 4th. That's where we stand here in the 5th. Got him on a breaking ball. 2 down. Slider again from Chacin.
Great rotation on this slider. You see that a lot of times when you see a true slider, you're going to see that rotation of the seams. It goes to a dot and it goes down the outside part of the plate for a perfect spot and a swing and miss for Chacin against a very good hitter in Desmond.
Two for 2 tonight. Rangers second baseman homering in the first, a single in the third. Chopper towards second. Giavatelli comes in. He's got it. Odor retired for the first time tonight. It's the 3rd out here in the 5th. We'll head to the bottom of the inning with Texas leading at 4-2. To see other than one hit. That was a Mike Trout infield single on the glove of Beltre. The only other base runners the Angels have had were courtesy of the walks by A.J. Griffin. 3 of them in the 4th inning. They led to 2 runs. And that's where we stand right now. It's the bottom third of the order. Choi, Bandy, and Simmons to face Griffin. He's thrown 59 pitches so far. 1 strikeout, those 3 walks, and 2 runs allowed.
A lot of those pitches thrown that last inning where the command was completely gone for A.J. Griffin.
Choi drives one out to deep right center field. That is gone. First career big fly for Ji-Man Choi. Draws the Angels within 1.
What an awesome swing for Ji-Man Choi, ready for that fastball, and he crushed it. A lot of high fives in that dugout. Look at all the guys, high five, low five, everywhere, a high five.
All the way down, too. That's fantastic. And still, no action.
Excuse me, did you hit a home run? Fellas.
That is the ultimate blow-off right there.
Hello? Even A.J. Griffin had to step off the pitching rubber to allow us the fellas to get high five him now.
Bandy is swinging a miss. 1 ball, 1 strike. Jet grounded out his first time up.
That ball was crushed.
One-two. Slow breaking ball, and it just missed. 2 balls, 2 strikes. He hides that pitch pretty well.
Yeah.
He goes into a normal delivery, and he always sees at the very end just flips that thing up there.
Same exact arm angle as his fastball, slider.
Full count.
He's starting to fall off a lot on his pitches of late. Ji-Man Choi. Smiling after that swing.
3-2, and Bandy goes down swinging. 1 away. Second strikeout for Griffin.
Go back to our top tier play of the game, brought to you by Arco. 87-mile-an-hour fastball. Ji-Man Choi ready, turns on it, and well out to right center field. First major league home run for Ji-Man Choi. The high fives are fantastic. The low fives too. Oh, there it is.
I love the seriousness in his face too.
Yes.
Simmons back up the middle for a 1-out base hit. Andrelton 1 for 2.
By the way, excellent technique on the high five, and then followed up with the low fives too by Ji-Man Choi.
Third baseman, number 6.
Well, the way this season has gone for the Angels, thankfully he didn't hurt himself and end up on the disabled list with those phantom fives. We've seen a lot of weird stuff happen this year.
But what a swing he had. That was perfect. Looking fastball, got a fastball, and turned on it. A lot of his hits we've seen from Ji-Man Choi going the other way. Got the barrel of the bat out there quickly. Congratulations on that one.
Picked up his first big league RBI yesterday. Now his first big league home run. Yunel Escobar 0 for 1. A fly ball to center in the first. Walked and scored in the 4th.
Looks like the Rangers sensing a potential hit and run being put on. Perfect guy, especially with Escobar can hit the ball the other way so well. Simmons with 2 stolen bases in 3 attempts. A lot of room on that right side of the infield.
Chopper toward third. Beltre's got it. And for the second straight inning, the Angels hit into an inning-ending double play. They do get one. Leadoff home run from Ji-Man Choi, first of his big league career. Draws the Angels within one as we head to the top of the 6th inning.
The Mets lose in a rematch of the playoff series between the Chicago Cubs and the Mets. 5-1. Detroit 1-0. Minnesota has fired their general manager, Ryan. And Kansas City comes back with 7 in the 8th inning to beat Cleveland in that game in Kansas City. Bases loaded. Jared Dyson, first home run of the season, a grand slam.
It's 4-3 here at the top of the 6th inning. Beltre leading things off. 0-1 count. Pops this one up on the first base side, and Choi, the dugout, runs out of room. 0-2. Beltre tonight, a home run in the first inning, a fly ball to right in the third. Beltre's 426th of his career, now tied for 48th all time. Miguel Cabrera and Billy Williams. 1-2.
Speaking of those Chicago Cubs, Billy Williams, Hall of Famer.
This one pulled foul. Four runs, 6 hits, 2 left on for Texas. 3 runs, 3 hits, 1 left on for the Angels. A.J. Griffin getting out of the last couple of innings. Big double play balls. Broken bat flare out to shallow left field. Simmons going out. Makes it look easy. 1 down.
Best ever. Best I've ever seen in that position, going back on pop-ups. Fearless running out on a pop-up. And the amount of coverage he has going back. Even baseball's right over his head. Right away, it's that angle he takes. Tracks that baseball, reaches up. Another outstanding play by Simmons.
Fielder grounds this one over to Choi. He'll take it himself. 2 down.
Victor, I think if Simmons could, he would try to catch every single baseball during the course of the game. He wants everything. Even that ground ball early in the game was on the second base side of the base. He was able to go over and cut it off and make a play on that one. That was back in the 4th inning.
Yeah, Mazara's ground ball. 3 2/3 so far for Jhoulys. 3 hits, 3 strikeouts, no walks.
Good life on his fastball, good location. His slider has been sharp. He's mixed in a couple good curveballs too. A little differential in the speeds of those pitches.
Rua is 0 for 2 with a couple of strikeouts.
He's almost as if he's looking breaking ball. Back-to-back fastballs by Chacín, located very well.
Angels have action working in the bullpen right now. Chacín's thrown 51 pitches so far.
Real nice job as far as his pitch speed range. 92, best fastball, slowest breaking ball at 77.
Down goes Rua. 1-2-3 inning for Chacín. We'll head to the bottom of the 6th inning. Calhoun, Trout, and Pujols coming up for the Angels down a run. Cole Calhoun will lead things off here against A.J. Griffin. What a solid effort in relief for Jhoulys Chacín. 4 innings, 4 strikeouts, 3 hits allowed, no walks.
Very aggressive out of the bullpen. That's the type of stuff he had in that game. We had that complete game against the Tigers where he had 10 strikeouts.
Cole swinging first pitch, fouls it back. That's the most pitches that Chacín has thrown in a game since his last start. It was on July the 1st against Boston. Cole popped out of the 1st inning, walked and scored in the 4th. That is ripped into center field. It's a leadoff single that'll bring up Trout with a man on.
He stayed back very well in that breaking ball.
Center fielder, number 27.
Those good career numbers for Cole coming into the game against Texas. Stayed back well with the barrel of the bat on that hanging slider.
Tony Barnett getting ready. Collison was up back in the 4th inning, but Barnett here in the 6th. 72 pitches for Griffin. Ended up just throwing 11 in the 5th inning. Trout takes a strike. Mike had a single infield variety off the glove of Beltre in the fourth, so he's 1 for 2. The third consecutive inning, I should say, in which the Angels have had their leadoff man reach. A walk in the fourth, a home run last inning by Choi, and now a single by Cole. 0-2. Top part of the strike zone. Trout doesn't like it, but it caught it.
Trout would probably like to have that pitch back again. Hanging slider, middle part of the plate, upper part of the strike zone.
One ball, 2 strikes. Just no fear whatsoever by Griffin to pitch inside. Lost start. That hits him on the elbow.
And that was loud.
Yeah, right off that elbow guard. It'll put 2 men on. A single, and now the hit by a pitch. Nobody out for Albert.
And this might be it for Griffin. If he runs this fastball, he talked about fastball in. You can hear that sound off that guard. At least you hope it absorbed most of it. And it did, but still, firm fastball at 88, up and in. Again, pitching inside. This time he hits Trout.
Wondering if Jeff Bannister's having the guys look at it downstairs. He confirms the fact that it did hit his elbow. Man, now he's going to the bullpen. So A.J. Griffin's going to be lifted here. Tony Barnett coming on in relief. The Halos are down by a run, but they've got their first 2 base runners on board to start the 6th inning. It's 4-3 Texas. Trout hit by a pitch and puts runners at first and second. It chases A.J. Griffin out of the ballgame. 76 pitches after 5 innings, plus 2 batters, 4 hits. Responsible for the 2 guys on board. He's also walked 3, hit a man, and it's right-hander Tony Barnett on a relief. Barnett pitched the last 3 years in Japan, coming back to the States, signing a deal with the Texas Rangers. He's 32 years of age. And he's thrown the ball well for Jeff Bannister. This will be his 37th game. 6-3 mark at 2.36 ERA. And Gooby in 4 games against the Angels, he's allowed just 1 hit, nothing else.
And his fastball, good moving fastball. It's 90-94. It throws a slider, cut fastball, a lot of cut fastballs, curveball, and split finger fastballs.
Albert 0 for 2 against Barnett. Calhoun at second, Trout at first. Albert grounded out of the second inning. Walked with the bases loaded in the 4th. Picked up his 65th RBI. 4 innings of relief against the Angels this year. 1 hit, no strikeouts, no walks for Barnett. One and one. Barnett, a 10th round pick by the Diamondbacks in 2006. This one's lifted foul and out of play. 1 and 2.
Pretty good pitch to drive the other way for Albert. Just tried to pull that one though.
Two balls, 2 strikes down. That ball gets away, and the runners will advance.
That's great reads by both Cole Calhoun and Mike Trout. That didn't get real far away from Bobby Wilson, but read that in the dirt and quickly both advance into scoring position. Break the ball in the dirt, blocked well by Wilson, but the great read by both allows him to get into scoring position. Well done by Cole and Trout. That's the 4th wild pitch of the season for Barnett.
Infield playing back. 2-2, and that's cued foul. Skips off the top of the dugout suites.
Yeah, that's a slow curveball. And they're giving that run home, a ground ball to short or second. He was always the contact play on, not necessarily as much the contact play on with no outs, but with the infield playing back like this, a ground ball to the middle infielder, Cole will be able to tie the game up.
Nava, the man on deck. Another 2-2. Breaking pitch, and he got him. Albert goes down swinging for out number 1.
Big slow curveball. See the rotation of that one at 79. Albert out in front, could not stay back on to make contact. Hips opened up. That out in front of that slow curveball. You wonder now if they'll bring the infield in, or at least halfway in.
Daniel Nava's never faced Tony Barnett.
And an open base here too with the left-handed batter. You got Giavitello on deck, who's hit 2 ground balls to shortstop so far in this game, including a double play ball. Must be giving them the option to go after him, or at least make him swing at something out of the strike zone.
Nava struck out looking in the second, had a sac fly in the 4th. Swinging first pitch, fouls it.
A.J. Griffin looking on. Nava trying to tie the game at the very least. Base hit more than likely gives the Angels the lead.
Trying to pitch him inside the 0-1. That is pulled down the line, foul. No balls, 2 strikes. Mentioned Giavitello on deck now. Halos have let the Rangers off the hook last 2 innings on double play balls. Second and third and 1 out. The tying run at third. Go ahead run at second. Here comes the 0-2. Nava fouls that one at the plate. Just got a piece of it. Keeps his at-bat alive. Barnett certainly provides you a different look than what Griffin was providing. Hides the baseball really well.
Very good movement on all his pitches. Again, a ground ball with a middle infielder ties the game up. That's the thought process now for Daniel Nava. At the very least, ground ball is short or second.
One and two. Fastball for show. Go back to that splitter.
With a splitter, or you might try that cut fastball inside.
41 saves a season ago in Japan. ERA of 1.44. It's almost 60 games last year. Now the 1-2. Nava pulls one to second base. Odor bobbles it for second and still bobbles it. He's not going to record it out. And this game is tied at 4. You talk about a gift.
I also like what Daniel Nava did. Got that ground ball like we've been saying. Hit the ground ball to middle infielder. Get the job done. He stayed back on it. Didn't try to hit this ball in the air necessarily. Got the ball on the ground. And ends up getting an RBI out of it. And still only 1 out, first and third, with an opportunity now to take the lead. That's the 14th error for Odor this season. Again, it took the eye off the baseball. He was in position. He did everything right as far as getting in front of it, but took the eye off the baseball.
And not so much on the first bobble. I don't know. It seemed like he peaked up when he went back down to get it.
Yeah, I wondered how quick he had to try to be to throw the first base, but you know who's running.
Yeah.
At that point, you have time.
First and third, still 1 out. Here's Giavotella. Ground ball to short and a double play balls. Last time up, he jumped on the first pitch from Griffin to the fourth. That ended that 4th inning rally. We'll take first pitch here. It's an 0-1 count.
And Giavotella last year, 309 batting average with runner in the scoring position, which was second best on the team so far this year. A little bit different though, just a 200 batting average.
Line to center field. That'll get down for a base hit. The Angels are in the lead, 5-4. Nava ends up at third as Giavotella picks up the RBI.
Boy, what a good swing there for Johnny. He has stayed back on that baseball, upper part of the strike zone, level swing, lines it in the right center field. The guys always having fun in the dugout when they see Johnny Giavotella come through with a clutch hit like he did right there. Line drive, right center field, good approach. Gets the job done. An RBI single, put the Angels ahead now. And a big error by Odor. Still first and third with 1 out. Good base running by Nava.
Here's G-Man Choi. 1 for 2. He homered in the 5th inning. First of his big league career. And Barnett wants to step off and walk off the mound.
Texas thinking that the Angels may be sending Giovatellis to try to avoid a ground ball and an infielder for a double play. Bobby Wilson has thrown out 22% of would-be base stealers this year. Barnett pretty quick to the plate, though. He's about a 1-2 to 1-2-5, which is slightly above average as far as speed to the plate as a pitcher. So if you're going to try to go, if you're Giovatellis, you got to be ready to go and get a good jump. It's not going to be easy to be able to try to steal a base.
Choi bounced that one off his foot. Evens up the count. And the ball with a strike. Book now closed on A.J. Griffin. 5 runs, 5 earned. 4 hits, 2 strikeouts. Calhoun led off the inning with a single, then Trout got behind in the count 0-2, worked it to 2-2, and they got hit by a pitch.
So very good patience at the plate by the hitters in the last couple of innings.
The exact opposite of what happened through the first 3 innings with A.J. Griffin. Overly aggressive. 9 up and 9 down for Griffin before walking Escobar to start the 4th. 2-1. Outside, 3-1. Jeff Bandy's on deck.
You can see what G-Man's trying to do. He's trying to get something in the middle part of the plate so he can at the very least hit a sac fly here. It's not chase Barnett's pitch down and away.
So you can see him being careful of left-handed batters. Lefties have hit .319 against Barnett this year. Right-handers .200. He's trying to stay away or trying to nibble on that outside corner. Wilson back outside. 3-1. Choi fouls it at the plate. He's got a piece of Wilson.
A little over aggressive on that one. It's a little bit off the outside part of the plate. In a couple of doubles that Choi has had this year, shoot that ball down the left field line. That was a pitch to try to do so. But you can see what he's trying to do. He's trying to hit a ball in the air. Very difficult to do that with that running 2-seam fastball off the plate and down.
2 runs in so far for the Halos here in the 6th. Up 5-4. Nava, the base runner at 3rd. Giovatellis at 1st. Payoff pitch. Giovatellis on the move. This is a bouncer to second. Odor's got it. Fires it to Profar. And they turn a double play. Wow. What a turn by Odor and Profar. The 3rd time the Angels have hit into an inning-ending double play. But they score twice here in the 6th inning to take a 5-4 lead.
Wow, what a play that was by the middle infielders for the Rangers.
on Fox Sports West is brought to you by Subaru, making the world a better place. That's why they created Subaru Loves to Care, Subaru's commitment to a healthier community. Top of the 7th, Halos on top by the score of 5-4. And somehow they lead at 5-4, having hit into 3 inning-ending double plays. Let's take a look at the one that ended the 6th inning.
Boy, this is about as good as a double play as you can turn. That ball was hit very well by Ji-Man Choi. Odor was hit so hard, was able to plant himself a perfect throw. And in Profar, with that strong throwing arm he has, gets Ji-Man Choi by half a step, but that ball was rocketed at Odor, almost by him when he caught it. Pivots, throws, 4-6-3, double play.
Bottom third of the order here in the 7th inning to face Fernando Salas.
But what a job, though, by Jhoulys Chachin tonight. Talked about that need to put up some zeros, some length. Well, he certainly did that.
Salas pitching in his 43rd game, a 3-6 record, a 4.93 ERA. Moreland fouls it back, no balls, 2 strikes. Chachin ended up going 4 innings, no runs, 3 hits, 4 strikeouts, and no walks. Moreland tonight a home run to lead off the 2nd, a single in the 4th. Lifted out towards shallow left. Escobar drifting out. 1 down. We'll bring up Mazara. Hey, join us tomorrow. Halos taking on the Rangers at 7:05 for Game 2 and receive a virtual gift bag courtesy of Sports One Marketing. Each card is redeemable for coupons totaling up to $500. Visit Angels.com to get your tickets today. Nomar Mazara hit by a pitch into 2nd, grounded out of the 4th, so he's 0 for 1. Fernando last pitched Friday against the White Sox, 1 inning, 14 pitches, issuing a 1.
Good fastball there out there, change up down and away.
Tough month and a half for Fernando Salas, who ball so well in April and May. An ERA over 10 in June. Almost 5.5 in July. This one's fouled back.
And he's missed some location, especially even on that changeup right there. That's missed location. But not missed many spots those first couple of months.
Two. Mazara lifts one down the line and slicing out of play. Came in batting .277 with 11 home runs and 36 RBIs. Been slumping of late. 5 for his last 28. Modified shift, Simmons toward the middle, Escobar almost at the shortstop position. This one's flared out the left center field and get down for base hit. Trout over to cut it off. It tails away from him. Mazara will get to 2nd. And it's a 1-out double, tying rundown scoring position for the Rangers.
Catcher, number 6, Bobby Wilson.
A little bit too much of the strike zone on a changeup. He went down and got it very well, Mazara did. 10th double.
That's almost a ball, Gooby, where that ball was placed and the way it sliced off the bat. You're better off as a left fielder getting to that ball, cutting it off, trying to get a
It's an easier throw to second base for the left fielder. As compared to Trout trying to get to that ball and then try to turn and throw to second.
Double for Mazara, his 10th. Here's Bobby Wilson, 1 for 2. 1 ball, 1 strike. Bobby didn't like that call. One and two.
Late on that fastball out there. Fastball in.
Lazar over at second with a pretty good lead with 1 out here in the 7th. Bobby rips one to left field. That'll tie this game up. It's headed toward the corner. The struggles for Salas continue. Wilson with his 2nd hit of the night. And it's a 5-5 tie here in the 7th inning.
When he went fastball in, fastball away, followed by another fastball in, and this time Bobby Wilson was ready for it. Brought his hands inside the baseball, lined that one right down the line for an RBI double. 3rd double of the season, 22nd RBI for Bobby Wilson, who continues to swing the bat well against the Angels.
Halos will start to get some action going.
Wilson now 7 for 11 against the Angels this season.
Deolis Guerra will start loosening now. JC Ramirez.
Right, Fernando had Bobby Wilson set up for a slider down and away. He went right back with a fastball in, and Wilson was ready.
Someone's falling down on the pickoff attempt. Maybe wondering why Fernando Salas here in the 7th inning. Joe Smith threw 29 pitches yesterday. Assume he's trying to squeeze the 7th out of Salas. Go to Bedrosian in the 8th, Street in the 9th. Things have changed here with back-to-back doubles. Profar shooting it foul. The shortstop has walked, struck out, and reached on a fielder's choice. So he's 0 for 2.
And that deception that Fernando Salas had for the first couple of months of the season, where he was high in the baseball well, all of a sudden hitters are seeing the baseball well out of his hand.
Outfield playing shallow. Another pickoff attempt. No throw this time. One and one. Bobby Wilson picking up his 22nd RBI. Tying things up here in the 7th. 2 balls, 1 strike. I'd imagine this could be Salas' last batter. Ramirez should be just about ready to go. 3-1. Seventeen pitches thrown by Fernando. Got the first down in Moreland with a pop-up. Lazar sliced a double out to left center, and Wilson shooting one into the left field corner. Ian Desmond on deck. There's ball 4. Mike Scioscia coming up the steps, and that's going to do it for Fernando Salas. So his struggles continue. Unfortunately for him, As J.C. Ramirez will be coming on in relief to face the number 2 hitter and a very hot hitter for the Texas Rangers. At least he's been hot all season long for him. Ramirez with a good fastball, trying to get out of the 7th with a tie ball game. First and second, J.C. Ramirez on a relief. Pitched Friday against the White Sox, went 1 inning through a total of 12 pitches. 37th game, 1-3 mark and a 5.62 ERA. He's going to face Ian Desmond. Those are his overall numbers, by the way. He's pitching now his 10th game with the Angels. 2.89 earned run average. Desmond pops it up. First pitch. That'll be infield fly rule, 2 down. Thank you very much. How about that?
Little backup slider got him.
Two one-pitch outs by Ian Desmond. Both resulting in pop-ups.
Especially when you look at his numbers from the 7th inning on, 352 batting average. A huge out for Ramirez there against Desmond.
He's got 5 go-ahead home runs in the 7th inning or later this year. Desmond does. You better not relax with Rougned Odor at the plate. He'll look at a strike.
And remember, he is very good on pitches up in the strike zone.
2 for 3, a 2-run blast in the first inning, his 17th of the season. Single in the 3rd, a ground out in the 5th. 0-1. They're going to miss. 97-mile-per-hour fastball, 0-2.
And late movement on that 97-mile-an-hour fastball from Ramirez.
Nasty little cut action on that one. Down a bit. Halos in the bottom of the 7th have 8, 9, and 1 coming up. Bandy, Simmons, and Escobar. Keone Kela, the right-hander, getting ready for Texas. 0-2. Downstairs. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Bobby Wilson, the base runner at second. Profar, the base runner at first. Chacin was in line for a decision. The score tied now. Nothing for his effort, but a stellar performance. 4 innings of relief. 1-2, got him swinging. Down goes Odor, and that'll do it for the Rangers. They tie it up on back-to-back doubles to the stretch time. 5-5 game.
Tomorrow's game, Kyle Loesch making his second start. 0-1 with an ERA over 10 at 10.80. Taking on Tim Lincecum, 1-3, 6.85. Threw the ball very well his last start out in Baltimore. Better velocity, better mechanics for the Freak.
A couple of veterans going tomorrow night. Here it's a youngster, Keone Kela, 23-year-old, taking over for Tony Barnett. This will be his ninth game. 1-0 record of 6.14 ERAs coming off. Just recently come off the disabled list. He's going to face 8-9-1 Bandy, Simmons, and Escobar for the Angels. 5-5 tie here in the bottom of the seventh. Kela with really good stuff. Bandy 0 for 2. Ground out and a strikeout. That hit him. Hit by pitch. Leadoff man is on board.
And I think they're going to check that to see if he crossed the plate on that swing.
Jeff Bannister asking the first base umpire Mark Wegner. He says he did not go.
Yeah, definitely did not swing. Running fastball inside. You know, his fastball is 93 to 97 range. So a curveball and changeup. Good curveball. A little over 35% of his pitches are curveballs.
Second hit batter of the night. Trout wore one on the elbow in the sixth. Simmons slicing one down the right field line. That is a fair ball. Bandy rounding second, will head to third. Simmons to second. It is a double for Andrelton, and the Angels have runners at second and third to start the bottom of the seventh.
And Simba, very good seventh inning on batting average 342, just like Desmond. This time Simmons gets the base hit inside out on a 96-mile-an-hour fastball right down the right field line. 13th double. 2 in scoring position now with Simba's double down the right field line.
Rangers, of course, will play their infield in. And it'll be Yunel Escobar coming to the plate. He's 0 for 2. Walked and scored in the fourth. Fastball in there for a strike. Chopper up the line and goes foul. No balls, 2 strikes. Boy, high fastball. Tough pitch to catch up on.
As well as Mike Trout has hit behind in the count. 339 batting average coming in the game. You know, Escobar, very good also. 288 batting average behind in the count.
Kela with a stellar rookie season last year. 7-5 with a 2.39 ERA, 68 games. For 12th round pick. Here's the 0-2 again. And Escobar waves at the off-speed pitch. 1 down. So Cole Calhoun will step up. Runners remaining at second and third. Cole 1 for 2, single, a walk, 2 runs scored. Calhoun 1 for 2 in his career against Kellum. One and 0.
Some pretty good arms in the outfield here for the Rangers. Rua, 4 outfield assists. Desmond, 6. Mazara, 5. And Bandy at third base trying to get back. If there is a fly ball, to get back to that base quickly. They'll try to tag up if there is a sac fly to give the Angels the lead here.
One 0. Cole lifts it foul. 1 ball, 1 strike. And that was right over the heart of the plate for him. You talk about splitting the plate. Just missed. You can just see the reaction. Had a pitch hit a long way.
Looking for a pitch to drive here, Cole.
The 1-1. Went around the off speed. 1 and 2.
I wonder if he'll go back to that breaking ball once again or try to go upstairs with his fastball. It's a firm fastball. It can get up there at 97 miles an hour.
Trout on deck. The 1-2. Evens up the count.
Tried that breaking ball once again.
Cole expanding the zone a little bit, fouls it off.
Boy, Bobby Wilson was set up inside with that fastball, round out over the plate.
Breaking pitch, and that is gloved by a diving Odor. He comes home, and Wilson can't handle the throw. Bandy scores, and the Angels are back on top.
That was an amazing play by Odor. Off balance, pretty good throw, but Bobby Wilson unable to scoop that throw as Bandy scores the go-ahead run. Hit well by Cole, but another real good play. That baseball is well by Odor. That tough in-between hop with the bat there also. Wilson unable to catch that one as Bandy gets his hand on the plate.
That would have been one of those, too, that Mike Scioscia may have had a look at it if he does come up with it as far as providing a path to home plate. But forget about it. It doesn't matter. The run scores. Tough play for Bobby Wilson. What a play by Rougned Odor.
That ball was way by him. Big run, though.
And as good a throwing arm as Mazara has it right, you feel that Renicky would probably try to score Simmons on that play if it sneaks through. Trout drives one out to deep left. 4. Get about it. Gone. Big fly for Mike Trout. And the Angels open it up here in the 7th.
talked about it earlier. When you go and think in terms of swinging to that first pitch, being aggressive, and Trout, aggressive. And he's got the numbers to prove it when he is aggressive, and he crushed that ball out for a 3-run home run. Number 19 of the season, giving him now 62 RBI.
"9-5 here in the 7th. 1 out, bases cleared. Here's Albert. That one off the glove of Wilson, back to the backstop. Home run number 19 for Trout. "62 runs batted in now on the season." The 1-0. Albert, little chopper. Left side, Beltre comes in. 2 down.
Boy, how quick Trout was on that pitch. Got that foot down, clears the hips. How short and compact that swing is to get the barrel of the bat on that one. How far that went. Foot down, the drive to the plate, brings the hands in, barrel of the bat on that one, and way out to left field.
Now 3 for 4 in his career against Kellogg. And 4 runs batted in. Base is clear for Daniel Nava. He's waiting for the music to be cut off. And hit pause.
4th home run in the last 9 home games for Trout. Boy, how quick his hands are.
Nava takes a strike. Breaking ball caught the inside corner. 1-2. Being told now that Nick Tropiano exited after 2 innings tonight with right elbow soreness. He'll be evaluated tomorrow.
And it certainly didn't look as crisp really from the beginning for Nick as far as all his pitches working.
2 balls, 2 strikes.
Well, I go back to Mike Trout again. First pitch swing, it doesn't do it a whole lot. Mentioned that earlier. It was 12 for 20 with 2 home runs and 13 RBI when he puts that in play on that first pitch. He's very patient, sees a lot of pitches, very good behind in the count, but there's certain times where he's looking and he guessing first pitch fastball, and he did not miss that one, even at 96-mile-an-hour one.
Nava goes down swinging. That'll do it for the Angels, but a hit by pitch started things off for the Angels in the 7th. The capper, Mike Trout's 3-run blast, his 19th of the season. We'll take it to the 8th with the Halos up 9-5.
All-Star break and looking good against the Texas Rangers, up 9-5 as we head to the top of the 8th inning. Welcome back, everyone, outside the Big A. And don't forget, following this one, it's all about Angels Live, presented by your SoCal Mazda dealers. Join myself, Jose Mota, Tim Salmon, and Alex Curry for all your highlights and interviews, and we'll show you how the Halos battled back in this one, coming up with some big hits. But none was bigger than we just saw moments ago in the 7th inning, part of a 4-run 7th. It was Mike Trout on the first pitch he saw, hitting it deep, a 3-run shot, his 19th of the year. And in the 5th inning, Ji-Man Choi, he went yard, his first career home run. So the Halos once again finding the offense as we send it back inside.
Nice line, Frenchie. J.C. Ramirez, who came on and finished off the 7th inning, back out for the 8th. Beltre, Fielder, and Rua. Todd Cunningham, the new left fielder, replaces Daniel Nava. No other changes for the Angels. 4 runs against Keone Kela. That's the most runs he's allowed in his brief big league career.
Boy, how well Trout set him up there. Trout always patient at the plate. There's times when he's looking first pitch fastball and he got it. And he delivered once again.
2 balls, 1 strike. Beltre, a home run in the 1st inning. A couple of fly ball outs since then. One to right, the other one to shallow left. That's the one that Simmons ended up tracking down. Broken bound roller to Anderson. 1 away.
And lost in that 3-run home run by Trout was that good at bat by Anderson Simmons to pick up a double. And the energy, seen a lot of energy in this dugout and on this field for the Angels of late. Some good smiles. 2-hit performance tonight by Simmons.
Fielder 0 for 3 with 3 groundouts.
And there goes Trout going into that dugout after that 3-run home run. Some high fives, some smiles, and some cheers. Look at Weaver going nuts in there. Love to see that energy.
Choi drops the baseball. Still time. Giavotella tried to glove it over to Ramirez. Fielder will reach. That'll be an error on Choi. At least it should be. Instead of 2 outs, nobody on, Fielder reaches, and Ryan Rua coming up. Choi gets charged with his first error. No balls and a strike. This was popped up shallow right field. Calhoun coming in, calls for it, puts it away, 2 away.
Real good communication there on that soft fly ball out the right center field right away. Cole Calhoun calling it.
Moreland a 2 for 3 night with a home run and a single. 3 balls and no strikes. Mazara is on deck. Angels in the bottom of the 8th will have Giovatello, Choi, Bandy coming up.
You certainly don't want to give runners this Ranger lineup. They can get back in the game quickly with their power. Seen it already in this game.
3-1.
Especially when you have a fastball like Ramirez has. Just work that fastball down and away.
Alex Claudio getting ready, the lefty for Texas. Full count.
That's a pretty good indication how much movement Ramirez has on his fastball. 95-mile-an-hour fastball. He'll cut it and sink it.
Three-two, fouled off. Fielder be on the move once again with 2 outs. And he walked him. No, actually hit him, huh? Got a piece of him. So 2 on with 2 outs. Nomar Mazara coming to the plate.
Back foot right on the toe at 97 miles an hour.
Dangerous hitter coming up at Nomar Mazara. 1 for 2. Hit by a pitch, a ground out, a double with a run scored in the 7th. Fielder now at second. Moreland at first as Campodrosian begins to loosen. First one upstairs. Just at 22 pitches. And in theory should be out of this inning had Choi not committed the error. Has to work now. 1-0. 2 balls, no strikes. What you're doing too is prolonging this 8th inning and giving the Rangers, the top of their order, an opportunity in the 9th.
Seems like he's trying to guide and aim the baseball now.
Caught the inside corner just barely. 2-1.
That's a danger spot against Mazara, though, that inside fastball. He has that pull power.
Chopper. Ji-Man Choi comes in, got it. He'll take it himself. We head to the bottom of the 8th inning. Halos up 9-5.
here with a big 4-run bottom of the 7th. An opportunity to add on here in the 8th inning against the Rangers. They always try to add on against them because they're a club that will come back, as we saw even that last inning. Still had an opportunity with a swing there. Mazar to get right back in the game. That was Claudio. 1-1 mark. 17th game. 3.63 ERA. 15 strikeouts in 22 1/3. Does not overpower you. It's the arm angle, the changeup. An excellent changeup. Fastballs around 84 to 87 range, and curveball.
Giavotella, Choi, and Bandy for the Angels here in the 8th inning against Claudio. Johnny 1 for 3, had an RBI single in his last at bat. That was in the 6th. RBI for Giavotella, 27th of the year. Giavotella chases the off-speed pitch, 1 out.
That is such a nasty changeup, especially from that arm angle he throws at. 66-mile-an-hour changeup.
Claudio, 24-year-old from Puerto Rico. 15 games 2 seasons ago, 18 games last year, and this is his 17th. Chopper left side. Claudio off the mound has it. 2 down. Choi, 1 for 4 night. Hey, follow Angels Baseball live with MLB.com at Bat app. Stay up to the moment at any moment with game day, live game video highlights, StatCast news, and more. Download MLB.com at Bat, the #1 app for live baseball on your phone or tablet. Two outs, nobody on, and it's Jeff Bandy up. Bandy pops it up. Bobby giving it a look, and he's down to play. No balls on a strike. Bandy 0 for 2. He started that 4-run rally in the 7th. Can he hit by a pitch? Simmons follow with a double, and after the Escobar strikeout, fielder's choice RBI for Calhoun, and a 3-run blast for Trout.
Another solid job behind the plate also by Bandy. Threw out 2 would-be base stealers tonight.
Texas in the 9th will have 9, 1, and 2 coming up. And Bedrosian still warming up for the Angels. Bandy chops it foul, 1 and 2. Got that got him again.
Yeah, that's what I thought, the same thing. Remember in spring training, he got hit a bunch of times, especially on breaking balls like that, down and in. 2 times he's been hit by a pitch this year.
Bandy lines one out to left center field, a base hit. 2-out single for Jet. And And Andrew Simmons will come to the plate. 2 for 3 night for Simba. A single and a double with a run scored.
That batting average up now to 268 for Simba.
One ball, one strike. This one pulled through the hole in a 3-hit game for Simmons.
Continues to add on to those numbers for a batting average. 7th inning on 2 hits. In the 7th inning, and then now in the 8th inning for Simba. Stays back on it well. The changeup fights that in the hole between short and third.
So Escobar with an opportunity to add to the Angels' 9-5 lead. He's 0 for 3 tonight. Struck out his last time up. Go-to count.
Escobar has been very good with runners in scoring position. Batting average at .420 this season, 2nd best in the majors.
Or just touched the bottom part of the strike zone, but Claudio doesn't get the call. That's 1-2. Band is standing at second and Simmons over at first. Got a piece of it. Oh, some funky motion with off-speed stuff.
Boy, as a hitter, you're trying to see out of the batter's eye back behind that center field wall, but from that arm angle he throws at, more difficult. You got to try to read that baseball out of his hand, but then he's throwing that changeup in there at 66 miles an hour. Then an 86-mile-an-hour fastball looks like it's probably 100 as a hitter against you.
Escobar goes down swinging, and we will head to the 9th inning with the Angels up 9-5. 5. Cam Bedrosian on in relief of J.C. Ramirez. Ramirez did a terrific job in the 7th and 8th innings, an inning and 2/3. He's the pitcher of record for the Angels. And Bedrosian pitching his 38th game, 1-0 mark, a 1.09 ERA. He'll be facing 9-1-2. And he'll be doing it with a new second baseman as Gregorio Petit takes over for Johnny Giavotella at second. No other changes for the Angels. Looks like Shin-Soo Choo is going to pinch hit to start this ninth inning. He's come out to the on-deck circle. He's been dealing with a sore lower back. Does not get the start tonight. Maybe an opportunity to swing the bat tonight. At least in a pinch hitting capacity. He'll be pinch hitting for Bobby Wilson. Which would lead you to believe that he's healthy enough perhaps to go tomorrow night. To a .274 batting average this year. 7 home runs, 17 runs batted in. Bobby Wilson, by the way, finishes the night going 2 for 3 with a single, a double, and an RBI. First pitch swinging, lofted out to left. Todd Cunningham comes in on it. 1 out.
Tim Lincecum there on the bench. He's on the mound tomorrow night. Very good outing just before the All-Star break. Had a good bullpen session. Very happy with his mechanics, especially with his life on his fastball. The last time out to set up his split finger changeup, curveball, and slider.
Jurickson Profar, the shortstop, has walked twice. He's 0 for 2. It's the 30th pitch that he has seen tonight. This being his 5th plate appearance. Oh, 2. Ian Desmond on deck. Profar shoots one to Escobar. Drops it, picks it up, fires to first. An eventful second out here tonight.
But an out. Line drive. And on the transfer, unable to keep that baseball in his hand, has to recover and then throw over the first base.
So 2 outs, nobody on, and Ian Desmond up. Desmond 0 for 4 tonight. Angels looking to wrap up their 4th consecutive win. Fell behind early 4-0 and battled back. 2 in the 4th, 1 in the 5th, 2 in the 6th to take a 5-4 lead. Texas tied it in the 7th. And the Angels with a 4-run bottom of the 7th. Oh, 1 down low.
Into some real good balance in the lineup once again for the Angels. Didn't panic, fell behind, but it really, when you look at this game right now, the position they're in, Jhoulys Chachin did an outstanding job.
1-2.
Ji-Man Choi with his first career major league home run. And the silent treatment in the dugout, and then that man, Mike Trout. quick hands, 3-run home run, first pitch swinging.
Boy, that got into the dugout area quickly. And fortunately, there's a young man behind the dugout with a glove. Just got a piece of it. Ricocheted onto the field, and he ends up with the baseball. A little over 36,000 tonight. Game 1 of a 3-game set against Texas. 1-2. Chopper to second base, should do it. Petit's got it on the join, like that baby up as the Angels make it 4 in a row tonight. 9-5 the final.
Impressive comeback victory. Mike Trout's 3-run home run. Ji-Man Choi, first career home run. Big smiles, the energy in that dugout throughout. The bullpen very, very solid tonight. Angels able to come back, 4th win in a row to start the second half of the season for the Halos. Excellent job putting it all together here again tonight.
J.C. Ramirez picks up the win. You mentioned the job that Jhoulys Chacin did. Nice job by J.C. Ramirez, especially to get out of the 7th inning and keep it a 5-5 ball game. Angels with a total of 9 hits, and overall a nice come from behind victory. Nick Tropiano left after 2 innings with right elbow soreness, and he'll be reevaluated tomorrow. That's why Chacin had to come into the ball game. So a nice win for the Angels. 4 straight now, 9-5 the final. Mike Trout, one of the heroes of tonight's game. It looks like he's down to the field, and let's go down to Alex Curry.
Mike, this team had a no-quit attitude tonight with a whole lot of energy. What made this team so resilient?
Came out fighting 4 games in a row. We're having fun. And Choi with his first home runs. Choi.
Put that feeling into words getting that first big league home run.
It's just nothing, you know.
And those high fives.
No, we were all excited. We're all happy for him. He works hard, and it's a big win for us tonight.
And talk about that silent treatment you guys gave him as he goes to the dugout with those imaginary high fives.
You know, he's a rookie, so, you know, we got to give him the treatment, so.
And a 3-run home run for you off the first pitch. Your at-bats usually last a little longer than that. What did you see on that first pitch?
I was just looking for a pitch to hit, and I got to put a good swing on it.
And 4 straight wins for this team. What kind of confidence does that give the Angels?
Huge confidence. We're pitching well, we're swinging the bat well, and we're having fun right now.
Well, congratulations on the win. And G-Man, congratulations on your first home run.
Thank you.
The Angels take Game 1 against Texas and make it 4 straight at home. Stick around for Angels Live next with Kent French, Jose Mota, and Tim Salmon. They'll break it all down right here on Fox Sports West.